Hey everyone, and welcome back to Bipolar Talks, the space where real conversations about mental health happen. If you're new here, take a moment to breathe, settle in, and maybe hit that like, subscribe, and share button. And if you're returning, thank you for walking this journey with us. Today's episode has a title that might already make you feel something. They're so bipolar. Why that's not okay. In today's episode, we tackle a phrase that's far too common and deeply harmful. They're so bipolar. What does it really mean when people say this casually? And why does it matter? We break down the stigma, misconceptions, and real-life consequences of using bipolar as a throwaway adjective. This isn't just about language, it's about the people behind the diagnosis, the struggles they face, and the empathy we need to build. Whether you live with bipolar disorder, love someone who does, or just want to understand mental health more compassionately, this episode is for you. Maybe you've heard someone say it. Maybe you've said it. Maybe someone said it about you. We're going to unpack this phrase fully. Its roots, its impact, and why it's time to retire it for good. But before we begin, I want to make something clear. This isn't a call-out. It's a call-in. This is about growing in empathy, not shaming anyone. So let's explore together with compassion. Let's rewind. When did bipolar become an adjective in everyday slang? In casual conversations you might hear, "Ugh, she's so bipolar. She was happy 5 minutes ago and now she's pissed. The weather's so bipolar today, sunny, then raining, then windy. He keeps changing his mind. He's like bipolar or something." Somewhere along the way, the term bipolar became shorthand for anything or anyone unpredictable, dramatic, or moody. But here's the thing. Bipolar disorder is a real, serious mental health condition. It's not a personality quirk. It's not a weather pattern. And it's definitely not a punchline. Language is powerful. And when we casually misuse a diagnosis, we reinforce misunderstanding, stigma, and even harm. Have you ever heard or used bipolar this way? Let's take a breath and step back. What is bipolar disorder? At its core, bipolar disorder is a mood disorder characterized by episodes of mania or hypomania, elevated mood, high energy, reduced need for sleep, racing thoughts, inflated self-esteem, impulsivity, depression, low energy, hopelessness, fatigue, suicidal ideation, withdrawal from life. There are different types, bipolar I, bipolar II, cyclothymia. But all of them involve serious shifts in mood, energy, and ability to function. And those shifts don't just happen within minutes. They can last days, weeks, even months. Calling someone bipolar just because they snapped or changed their mind. That's a complete distortion of what the illness actually is. And for the people who live with it, that mislabeling isn't just annoying. It's isolating. It's erasing. It's damaging. Let's be honest. Stigma doesn't always show up as overt discrimination. Sometimes it slips in through jokes, metaphors, and misused labels. So what happens when we throw around bipolar casually? 1. It trivializes the illness. Imagine having cancer and someone says, "Ugh, my phone battery is so cancer." It doesn't make sense and it feels wrong, right? That's what it's like when bipolar is used to describe random mood swings. 2. It perpetuates misunderstanding. When people think bipolar means mood swings, they miss the depth and seriousness of the condition. That misunderstanding makes it harder for those with bipolar disorder to be believed, supported, or even diagnosed properly. 3. It silences real stories. If bipolar is a joke, how do you open up about actually having it? You start to think people won't take you seriously, so you stay quiet, and isolation grows. 4. It hurts job and relationship prospects. When a label is associated with instability or drama, it becomes harder for people with bipolar disorder to feel safe in disclosing it, even when accommodations or support could help them thrive. Let that sink in. This isn't about being too sensitive. It's about how words shape real-world consequences. Now let's bring in the human side. When someone who actually lives with bipolar disorder hears that phrase, "You're so bipolar," it cuts deep. You might feel like your identity has been reduced to a stereotype, like your pain has been turned into entertainment, like you're fighting a battle that no one sees, and people are laughing at your armor. I've spoken with people who were scared to seek help after hearing their illness mocked. who kept quiet during their darkest days because they feared being seen as crazy, who were told by friends and partners, "You're just being dramatic. No one deserves that." And that's why this episode matters. So what can we do? First, awareness. Catch yourself when you use medical or psychological terms casually. Words like bipolar, OCD, schizo, addict, they all carry real weight. Second, correct with kindness. If someone uses bipolar inaccurately, gently explain why it's not okay. You don't need to lecture, just offer insight. Try, "Hey, I know you didn't mean harm, but bipolar disorder is actually a serious mental illness. Maybe there's a better word for what you meant." Third, amplify real voices. Listen to people with lived experience. Support content creators, writers, and advocates who are sharing their stories. Their voices are changing the conversation. Fourth, change the culture. From TV scripts to TikToks to office banter, call it out when you see it. And celebrate creators and media that get it right. Fifth, lead with empathy. Always, mental health isn't a joke. It's not a plot twist. It's part of being human. And if you live with bipolar disorder, you are not a punchline. You are powerful. You are not alone. You are so much more than any label. Let's close today with something real. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of compassion. You don't have to hide your diagnosis to be accepted. And you don't have to tolerate stigma. Not from strangers, friends, or even yourself. Thank you for joining us today on Bipolar Talks. If this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment, hit like, subscribe, and help us grow this space of healing and honesty. And remember, language is a mirror of our values. Let's use it to reflect respect, not reinforce ignorance. Until next time, take care of your mind and be kind to others. Disclaimer: this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be taken as medical advice. If you or someone you love is struggling with bipolar disorder or any mental health condition, please reach out to a licensed professional. You are not alone.